Hello and welcome, boys and girls. I was hoping you would visit today. Alright, which story shall we read? Here's a good one. Please, make yourself comfortable and let us begin. Once upon a time, there lived a beautiful queen named Isabella, who ruled over a small kingdom. Isabella was a truly kind and loving woman who always wanted nothing but the best for her subjects. One thing she also loved, though, fine shoes. While she loved to look her best as much as anyone, she especially was fond of fancy shoes. So it was no surprise on the day of her birthday when one of the local tailors sent her a gift in the form of a pair of lovely red shoes. "Oh my," she said, "how extraordinary." The shoes were made of soft red leather and decorated with silk ribbon and lace. They were so light that the queen almost felt they would float away from her hands. She tried them on and they fit perfectly and caressed her feet gently but firmly. "Oh, they are wonderful," she could only say as she admired them. She loved these shoes and all she could think about was how she could pay back her people for such a generous gift. "I shouldn't be the only one to enjoy them," she declared. "We shall see to it that all the cobblers in the kingdom shall provide these shoes for everyone." And so it was. All the shoemakers in the kingdom were told to make nothing but the same fine red shoes, so everyone could enjoy them. They were, of course, compensated for this service from the royal treasury, so in time, everyone were made. Surely this would make everyone in the kingdom very happy indeed. Some time later, the queen decided she would go on one of her regular tours of the kingdom to check on everyone. So she called for her carriage and began her travel. Along the way, she passed the local mining guild. The workers were resting themselves, but appeared to be in pain. Curious, the queen called one over and asked if anything was wrong. "Oh, your highness," he replied, "I fear it is these red shoes that you so generously had made for us. As pleasing to the eyes as they may be, they cannot support our feet under these conditions. They have all torn and worn out, and we are forced to work in the mine barefoot. There are no workmen's boots any more, for the cobblers are far too busy making more red shoes as you instructed." This surprised the queen. How could such lovely shoes create such misery? She decided she would ponder this further as she continued her tour. Just as she arrived into town, she saw a young man with a large sack on his back sitting on a crate by the road. He looked very distraught, so much that the queen had to ask what was troubling him. "I am in danger of losing my job, your highness. I work as the postman for this town for years, and I've always loved it, but now I find myself late with the mail every day. The people are losing confidence in me." "Oh dear," the queen replied, "but how can that be? I have heard there are none faster than you." "That was once so, but now I only have these shoes to run in. I simply can't keep up. While lovely as they are simply not made for running as I do. I have tripped and hurt myself repeatedly with them and even lost letters in the process. I don't know what to do." This couldn't be a coincidence, so the queen investigated further, and indeed, this was a common concern all over the kingdom. While the shoes fit many people well, and they were content with them, others struggled with them. The shoes simply could not support their needs, yet it was all they had. The message had been made quite clear, and the queen realized the misery she had caused and retracted her proclamation. She had learned her lesson quite well. Even with the best of intentions, when one forces one's values onto others, even something as beautiful as a pair of red shoes can become something ugly and cruel. Now, boys and girls, does this help paint a clearer picture of why I say that universal health care is immoral? Many very solid economical arguments have been made against it by both myself and by others, but its supporters dismiss them for a number of reasons, preferring to argue it only as an issue of morality. What they fail to understand is that there is a moral argument against it as well. Many claim that a vast majority support their view, but even if that is true, there remains a problem. It starts with that minority of the population who are being forced into this idea against their wills. Whether you all like it or not, some don't like universal health care. There are many people who feel that they've been let down by Canada's health care as well as Britain's and all the others, and they are denied the opportunity to seek alternatives more suitable to their individual situations. This is a known fact. You know these people exist. If you deny this, You are not only lying, you are dismissing these people's concerns as unimportant in favor of a personal need to be right, and that is truly immoral. Even if all the economical arguments are wrong, the fact that universal health care is backed up by force will always render it unable to claim the moral high ground, because forcing people into complying with an idea against their will is never a justifiable act. If you subscribe to a particular idea, that's your right and your choice. However, if you feel that freedom entitles you to forcibly impose your beliefs or values onto others just because you think they're valid, you need to re-examine your sense of boundaries. This is the flaw with universal health care. Any idea that truly held merit would not need to be backed by coercion. It would simply be. Those who eagerly attack the ideas of liberty would do well to think about all the technologies, innovations, and inventions that you take for granted every day, which simply would not exist if people lacked the freedom to create them in order to pursue their own interests. Ponder my words, and they shall serve you well, boys and girls. Until next time, be aware and be wise.